Join us at Women of Courage and celebrate the achievements of women. Before we begin, we're going to take a few moments to collect ourselves and to relax before we engage into our discussion. What we need to do is to focus now on bringing positive energy into our lives and into the world. The energy that we project every day is the same energy that we get back. We have all seen those people that can walk into a room and they glow. People want to be around them. People feel better being in their presence. That's the energy that we need to create. And once we learn how to do this, our lives will be filled with greatness. We will attract that positive energy. And how we can do this is by changing our outlook, meeting every day with gratitude, thankfulness, optimism, and once you do this, you will see a change in yourself. I want you to take a moment and close your eyes. Think about everything positive in your life. Family, friends, a career, your faith. All of this is how you start your day. Every morning when you wake up, I want you to think about what is positive in your life. I want you to list 10 reasons why your life is amazing. You will see the change. You will be changed. You will begin to attract life's blessings. Lead with gratitude. Be thankful and think positive.
This right here, this is the moment right before the day starts when you get to look in the mirror and tell yourself who you are. Now, you've been through some dark days. I believe that. But all that pain and struggle, that made the person you're looking at now. So when you walk out of these doors today, I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to believe you are the strongest person walking this planet. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the grind it took for you to be here. So when you leave here today, I need you to show them.
The Women of Courage show is being broadcast by the Women and Children's Restoration Ministries to help you problem solve, to help you dream again, to help you believe that anything is possible. We want you to believe that you do not have to marry the first man you meet just to get someone to take care of you. You do not have to live a life of drudgery. You can educate yourself. All you have to do is learn to read competently. We want you to take a chance on yourself. Stop believing all the soothsayers around you that have never left a state in their lives. People who do not have courage to fly. People who only think of lying, cheating, and stealing. You can live an exciting life. All you have to do is believe that you can make your dreams come true. You do not have to go to bed with someone you despise day in and day out. You have the right to marry someone that you can talk to someone that believes in you and has faith in you as a human being. In other words, you do not have to settle for just anyone. But what you must do is strive toward your goal. You must be goal oriented. You must organize yourself. You must be clear about what you want in life and why you want such a life. All of us are made up of dreams. As our dreams unfold in our lives, our spirit soars. Realizing our dreams becomes a problem because oftentimes we are beaten down by our friends and family. We are beaten down at school by people laughing at us because of our shoe size, our ear size, our breast size, the clothes we wear, etc. We are beaten down by people saying nothing will come of our lives. We are beaten down when our mothers and grandmothers constantly say that we're going to be just like our father, an inmate in prison. Many of us are also discouraged when our mothers are inattentive. She is wrapped up in her new boyfriend. But life anew is possible. It is my job to encourage you to go as far as you can dream and as far as your dreams can take you. It is my job to get you to believe in life again. I am sick and tired of people failing at life just because they are around negative speaking and negative acting people. Do not let the failure of other people make you lose confidence in yourself. Yes, you may be surrounded by poverty, but you must look for a way out. The book, If You Believe in God, You Do Not Belong in Prison, will help you. What you must do above all else is learn to read competently. You must read, and read. Anyone who laughs at you for reading, you need to leave that person alone. I do not care if it's your mother. Anyone who discourages you, you are to stop all association. Man is not different than plants. We need encouragement to grow as plants need water to thrive. You are to leave foolish, stupid people alone. Their ignorance will weigh you down or even get you killed. Sit down and think how you can avoid these people, especially if they're in your family. If you are overwhelmed with the tiring feeling that feels as if you're carrying a bag of stone around every morning when you get out of bed and think how you'll have to spend another living life you're not passionate about, the books I suggest are the perfect solution for your unique needs. Not only will we help you realize why these feelings overwhelm you and what you can do to change it, but they will also teach you how to live a life of strength, courage, fearlessness in order to realize all of your dreams. If you are lacking the attitude and psychology, proper resource or vision to make your dreams a reality, combined with dissatisfaction with the execution of your plans, but you remain firmly dedicated to making your ambition a reality and creating the life you deserve, you will certainly derive the most benefit from professional, incredible content within these books. Contents that will assist you in achieving the results that you are after. You are never to give up on yourself. Are you ready to leave your future to chance? Of course not. Take your life in your hand and learn all the necessary tools, mindset, strategies used by the men and women of courage, used in order to live the life of their dream. Change your life with our book starting today. What are you going to do with yourself now that you're 39 years old and you have four children all under the age of 10? You're working at McDonald's or Wendy's. You have no health insurance and no life insurance, and you're driving a piece of car. So if you die, your children are going to go into foster care. So, what are you going to do with yourself for the rest of your life? How satisfied are you with your circumstances, counting your pennies every paycheck, knowing you will never have enough? Are you still looking for a man who's going to save you? You're being foolish. Stop wasting your time. You need to get off the couch and change your circumstance. Yes, you're 39 years old, but that doesn't mean you can't learn. That doesn't mean you cannot go back to college. Yes, you can. The problem is, will you? Your problem is you have foretold your life. You told yourself how hard it's going to be going back to school with 4 children. You told yourself that you do not know how you're going to make it. You manage life by putting one foot in front of the other and problem solve when the problems occur. You do not problem solve by fantasizing what might happen. Most of the time, what you fantasize what might happen never happens. It is about time for you to start seeing yourself as a winner. See, you have never told yourself that you're a winner. You have never told yourself that you don't need a man to make you whole. You have never told yourself that you can actually get into college. You are afraid of rejection. Well, why are you going to be afraid of rejection when you create rejection in your mind? You have never tried anything to actually develop yourself. You have scared yourself off from trying various things. Oh yeah, you'll try a new hairdo, you'll try a new purse, you'll try a new car, you'll try a new man, but actually trying something that will totally change your life, you run from it. It is time to go back to school. When you were growing up, you learned some pretty bad habits, and you have not identified these behaviors as bad habits that are detrimental to you. Well, it's about time for you to change. You need to find a counselor, and you need to see this person once a week. This person can help show you how your thinking has been distorted. A counselor can help you develop your self image. Shortly, we are going to discuss the terms self image and self confidence. Both of these characteristics are causing you to fail at life. Now, the question becomes, what are you going to do? Your behavior now depends on who you think you are and how desperately you want to become a new person. Even if you do not care about yourself, you still need to change to save your children. Do you really want your daughters to end up on the street selling their bodies and your son serving time in prison? Well, it's all up to you. It's time for you to change those bad habits that you work toward, and it's time for you to become a new person. I do not care if you're 39, 59, or 69. You can do it if you make up your mind. The question is, what do you see when you look in the mirror, and what do you see in your mind? We're going to discuss self-image and confidence. Self-image is how you see yourself. This may be how you see yourself physically, or your opinion of who and what you are, which is normally called self-concept. It is important as it affects your self-esteem and confidence. Your self-image includes what you think you look like, how you see yourself personally, what kind of person you think you are, what you believe others think of you, how much you like yourself or you think others like you, the status you feel you have. What does self-image have to do with self-esteem? Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. Image is about how you see yourself and how you believe others see you. They are closely connected because if you have a poor opinion of yourself, your self-esteem will be low. You need to read books that will show you how to feel good about yourself. If you're having problems with relationships, it could be your self-image. Image has to do with perception. How you see yourself is vital because this will affect your behavior, your thinking, and how you relate to others. People respond to you either positively or negatively according to how confident you are. Your confidence in relationship depends on the image you have of yourself. Consequently, you should concentrate on improving your communication skills. By doing this, you are self assured that you are communicating with people correctly. How you see yourself is often different from how others see you. Your view of yourself is shaped by your unique thoughts and beliefs, and you will have a distorted view. You will see yourself in a positive or negative way according to your level of self esteem. You may have a negative view of yourself, and if so, you are probably highly critical of yourself. Here's a good question. How do you improve your self esteem and confidence? You want to increase your self confidence at work, in your daily life, or improve your relationships? First, list things you like about yourself. Include your appearance, your personality, and your skills. Now you need to change negative thoughts into positive thoughts by focusing on the positive aspects of yourself, forgetting the negative things that happen to you. Remember the compliments that people have given you and note them down. You should pay close attention to whether your view of yourself is accurate and why you see yourself the way you do. Changes that will help you. For example, your clothes, your appearance, your hairstyle, and your behavior. Accept things about yourself that are true and learn about them in a positive manner. If you wear a size 8 shoe, you wear a size 8 shoe. There's nothing you can do about it. So accept it. Make certain that you get exercise so you will look and feel better. Take yourself less seriously and lighten up. Accept criticism constructively so you can move forward and improve yourself. Don't be limited by your internal image. Step outside of it and break free. It does not have to control you or keep you down. Acting differently will change how others respond toward you and will help change your attitude toward yourself and your abilities. Take on challenges positively and surprise yourself. Read inspiring books such as You Are the Prophet of Your Life and Women of Courage. You are only limited by your efforts and your confidence. Believe in yourself. Now, what about a positive self image and self esteem? What is a self image? A self image is the idea, conception, or mental image one has of oneself. Self esteem, respect, or favorable image of oneself. Self image is how you perceive yourself. It is a number of self impressions that have built up over time. What are your hopes and dreams? What do you think and feel? What have you done throughout your life and what did you want to do? These self images can be very positive, giving a person confidence in their and actions, or negative, making a person doubtful of their capabilities and ideas. Surprisingly, your self image can be very different from how the world sees you. Some people who outwardly seem to have it all, intellect, looks, personality, and financial success, may have a bad self image. Conversely, others who have had a very difficult life and multiple hardships may also have a very positive self image. Some believe that a person's self image is defined by events that affect him or her doing well or not doing well in school or relationships. Others believe that a person's self image can help shape those events. There is probably some truth in both schools of thought. Failing at something can certainly cause one to feel bad about oneself, just as feeling good about oneself can lead one to a better performance on a project. But it cannot be denied that your self image has a very strong impact on your happiness, and your outlook on life can affect those around you. If you project a positive self image, people will be more likely to see you in a positive, capable person. However, it is important that your self image be both positive and realistic. Having a self image that is unrealistic can be a drawback. whether the self-image is negative or positive. Sometimes having an occasional negative thought or criticism about oneself can encourage change, hard work, growth, and success. Sometimes having too positive an image of oneself can encourage complacency, underachievement, and arrogance. Finding the balance between feeling positive about oneself and having realistic goals is important. I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, "It is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men." Now,
Anything that you want in this life can be obtained. You just need to believe. Believe in yourself. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are resilient. You are what we call the women of courage. And your time is now. There are no victims in this life. So I'm asking you, are you ready to make a change? Are you ready to fight for what you want? Are you ready to fight for your dreams? If you are, it starts now. This is the Women of Courage.
you can visit touchedbythelight.us and learn what our books have to offer to you.
What are you going to do? The Bible is the greatest self-help and how-to book ever written. But have you paid any attention to its instructions, or are you waiting until you are bald and infirmed before consulting God? Are you waiting for the hour of your death before saying, "God, I would like to go to heaven"? Is there room up there for me? What if God turns to you and says, "I never knew you"? Then what? You will never be with him in paradise. An unexamined life is unworthy of you. Examine why you give one grandchild more money than you do your other grandchildren. Read and find out what God has to say about favoritism, jealousy, envy, and anger. Why do you cut people off when you're driving, or speed up when the man in front of you turns on his turn signal? Why are you so hateful every time a woman walks past you and her breasts are larger than yours? Why are your thoughts filled with evilness and self-loathing? Read and find out what God has to say about your envy and jealousy. Where has your humility gone? There is no light left in your spirit? Why can't you get along with your coworkers and neighbors? Why is there so much strife in your life? Is your son in prison? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit there and wring your hands, or are you going to consult God for leadership ideas? Why have all your friends left you behind? What about the children born on the other side of the blanket? Are you going to die and not acknowledge you are their father? Just what are you going to do? More of the same? Or are you going to go to God for advice and change? Read, meet yourself, and change. If you are allowing emotions to rule your life rather than God's words, then you need to change. If you can sit and watch the news at night and listen to what man has to say, surely you can give a little time to God. Is there nothing you can do for God except go to church and tell the pastor, "I really enjoyed your sermon"? How long are you going to go through life sucking up the food and air God provided and doing nothing for God? Putting your 50 cents in the collection plate does not fulfill your obligation to God or the life He provided you. When you breathe your last breath, there is no more time to change. There was a man imprisoned in Texas for 30 years to life. He was innocent. The innocent man was in prison, and the guilty man was outside drinking beer and sunning himself. He, the killer, had made a bargain with the prosecution to testify against the innocent man. The innocent man in Texas kept writing people until finally one of his letters reached an elderly woman. The woman believed him and began a writing campaign of her own. Finally, her letters reached a group of lawyers who agreed to re-examine the case. Their re-examination and legal fight led to the innocent man being freed. What would have happened to this man if that woman had not believed she could make a difference? What would have happened to this innocent man if this woman did not believe she could do something for God? There was an innocent man imprisoned in Alaska. A 78-year-old woman heard about his case and began writing lawyers trying to get him some help. He too was freed because a 78-year-old woman believed in herself and that her life mattered. Is there not anything you can do for the Lord besides going to church and saying amen? Just because you are on the building committee does not make you a servant of the Lord. God said help your fellow man, not go to church and be a deaconess parading around church in your uniform. Is there not anything you can think to do for the Lord besides praying? How long are you going to keep going to church, listening to the choir, and having a good time? One of the world's greatest resistance movements was the Montgomery bus boycott. People put their lives on the line for one another. They faced an evil and used their bodies to stand in its path. Their action changed the world. Their actions told people everywhere, even a poor man has power. You have power, but you do not use this power. You continue to believe what other men have told you. So every day you sit with your cigarette and drink away your life, imagining what you could do with your life if only such and such would happen. There are children suffering all over this country. Is there nothing you can do for the Lord to alleviate this suffering? God is not impressed that you are not a deacon in the church, nor is He impressed that you are a member of the usher board. What have you done for Him? Being an usher or a deacon is a man-made assignment. Do you think that is all God wants you to do for Him, is to be a deacon or usher in a church? The second greatest commandment is, love thy neighbor as thyself. Have you done this? Are you saying there are no more possibilities to your life except being a deacon and an usher? What are you going to do today that is different than what you did yesterday? Are you going to sit and continue to brood over the circumstances of your life? Or are you going to take charge of your life, read a book, and change? Are you going to allow God's Word to heal your mind and cause action in your life? There is always one last morsel you can snatch from life.
I am going to pause for a second to take a short break while you listen to information regarding willpower and encouragement. It is all a matter of learning new behaviors. And please remember, it is easier to build strong minds than to repair injured people. What I said is a modification of a quote by Frederick Douglass. He said, it is easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Now,
You need to live life with a purpose. You need to spend the time needed to explore, to find your true passion. There are so many unhappy people in this world not willing to make a change. There are so many unhappy people not focusing on the big picture. 1 out of 3 people are happy with their lives. Think about that for a second. 70% of the people you see every day are not happy. And the majority of that has to do with purpose. People are programmed, wired to be okay with the minimum. people stay in jobs they're not passionate about. They date people who don't support them, hang out with people who don't help them grow. This can't be you. You need to spend the time to discover what your true calling is. What are you passionate about? What do you see yourself doing to make your mark? Are you in a job right now that you're truly happy with? Do you wake up every morning excited to start your day? If not, that's okay. You know now this isn't fulfilling you. But what are you gonna do about it? Are you willing to make a change to help reach your goals? If you are, it needs to start now. Because this won't happen overnight, finding your true calling. But once you do, you will see how everything changes. You will begin to see the quality of your life increase. All those problems you had, they slowly fade. You begin to see how powerful life is with a purpose.
Remember, if you miss one of our shows, you can visit our YouTube channel at Touched by the Light Publishing to watch and listen to previous episodes of Women of Courage. Thank you. Hi, I decided that at the end of every show for the next year, I would share excerpts from a book that I believe would enhance your life and make you a stronger thinker and problem solver. All characteristics that will help you win at life and raise stronger and healthy children. Many of you turn your nose up at reading, or you snub the advice that you must read in life to succeed, or you compare the cost of a book to getting a new pair of shoes or getting your hair done or your nails done. The reason why you make these cost comparisons is because you do not truly value a book. A book is a magnificent instrument that can change the course of your life and the lives of your children. In later shows, I plan to discuss with you how a book changed the lives of certain people. I understand that you do not earn a lot of money, and this money is valuable to you because of all the things you see advertised that you desire, and you do not want to spend a lot of money on a book. A new pair of shoes is more valuable to you than a book. If you truly cannot afford a book, then you need to go to the library and take your children with you for a day of reading. You must gird your loins and proceed at educating yourself. Some of you seem to think that having a conversation with your stupid girlfriend or your stupid boyfriend will help you more than reading a book, when actually having a conversation with your loudmouth girlfriend or loudmouth boyfriend is merely a cathartic, allowing you to blow off steam and proclaim how life has been so unfair to you. What you do not realize is that the advice coming from your do-nothing girlfriend or your do-nothing boyfriend is advice coming from a fool. Your do-nothing girlfriend is a sexual opportunist looking for a man she can impress with her body. When her vagina fails her, what will your girlfriend do but go to work at McDonald's or Wendy's at the age of 60 and continue to spread her ignorance at church? Her daughter will be on the street and her son in prison. She will never realize that her life is the result of the decision she made not to educate herself through reading. All her life she felt that she had something better to do than reading. She had something better to do than reading with her children. She had something better to do than working with her children. And that was going to the bar, trying to entertain a man, or trying to find some man that would buy her a pair of shoes. A man spending money on her was more important than educating herself. In later shows, I'm going to spend a great deal of time giving you some examples of fools. These are people who think they are smart, willing to trade their body and integrity for a dollar bill. These people end up in the cemetery after lamenting each and every day of their lives about their unfilled dreams. Do not be upset by the use of the word fool. You tell me if a woman is not a fool to instruct her grandson to kill her husband for a $25,000 life insurance. Let that sink in for a moment. Instead of instructing her grandson to make something of his life, the grandmother instructs her grandson to become a murderer, to kill his grandfather. I have this anecdotal advice for you about reading. Listen to this short true story. A friend and I were talking. She said a woman she knew called her and sought to renew their friendship. During their conversation, the woman told my friend that President Trump had done so much for black people, and that's why she voted for him in 2016, and she was going to vote for him again in the upcoming election. My friend asked her a question. She said, "Tell me some of the things that Trump has done for black people." The woman said, "A whole lot." My friend persisted and asked her to name one thing that Trump had done for black people. The woman could not. The woman kept using the phrase, "a whole lot of things." My friend said after a while she stopped talking. Finally, the conversation was over and my friend hung up. My friend said, as she hung up, she made up her mind right then that she would never renew her friendship with this woman. Now ask yourself why. Why would she not renew her friendship with this woman? You can answer this question in 2 words. The woman was a poor thinker. She never investigated anything that was told to her. Whether you know it or not, a person who is a poor thinker, who does not examine his or her thinking, is a very dangerous person indeed. Think about it. Today we will be discussing the book, What You Must Do to Win. This is an excellent read, and after you finish reading it, you will enjoy it, but you must put some of the ideas that the author talks about into practice. Reading is not enough. You must put these ideas into practice. The book, What You Must Do to Win, starts off with the question, are you not tired of being a fool? Then that question is followed by a quote from the Scarlet Letter. The quote says, "Man, for any considerable period, can wear one face to himself and another to the multitude without finally getting bewildered as to which may be the truth." You loan Paul money, he never pays it back. You help Julia with her children, but she never remembers you during Christmas. There is more to life than looking for an opportunity to lie, cheat, and steal. Consider this: spending 20 to 40 years in prison is a waste of your life. You can do better, and you need to tell yourself that you can do better. Have some pride about yourself. Learn to think. Learn to read well and leave your foolish friends behind. Stop being afraid of life and stop avoiding the responsibility you have to yourself. Some people say if you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book. Why not read this book and find out how reading can change your life and bring health and wealth to you? You have nothing to lose. 2 hours out of your day will change your life drastically. Just because you started your life from a position of weakness does not mean that you have to remain weak. Take control of your life. Stop associating with men who are fools. In this book, you're going to learn how to recognize a fool, even if that fool is yourself. The only problem with being a fool is if one continues to be a fool. Everyone makes mistakes and everyone does foolish things. That behavior is part of life. But the behavior does not have to be part of your life in continuing that behavior. When is enough enough? When are you going to face the fact that your marriage is no good because of you? When are you going to face the fact that your children are failing at life because of you? When are you going to face the fact that you need to change? You need to know when you are talking to a fool. You need to know how to recognize a fool. The word fool is not a nice term. People do not like it. The word is demeaning and makes people feel bad to be called a fool. Nevertheless, the word remains in the dictionary because it is a word that accurately describes the behavior of some people. If you do not like being a fool, or you are tired of thinking you are a fool, it is time to change. When you left high school, you never envisioned yourself spending time in jail. You never envisioned yourself as a drug courier. You never thought you would burglarize a house or sit inside of a dope house holding a shotgun just to make money. You could have avoided all of these jobs if you had learned to read. All you have to do is learn to read. Reading brings you knowledge, and knowledge brings you creative ideas and know-how. You can learn a new trade by reading. You can learn to become a mechanic by reading, a carpenter by reading, and even a plumber if you know how to read. You need to make up your mind that you want to do something with your life, and then you need to change. You need to change your environment, and you need to change your friends. Wisdom is defined as the quality or state of being wise. Knowledge of what is true or right, coupled with just judgment as to action, discernment, or insight. How wise are you going to be today? Are you going to change? Are you going to start living your life being respectful of yourself and others? If you participate in any of the above behaviors, you are not only foolish, you are a follower. You let someone tell you that that behavior was smart. So one of the first steps of not being foolish is to change your friends. Leave all the foolish people in your life alone. There is too much pain in our communities. There are too many people living painful lives. We have too many unhappy children. We have too many unhappy seniors. There is too much anger in our community. There is too much hatred in our community. And there is too much self-loathing in our community. Something needs to be done about it. A few hours of your time can solve the problem. All you have to do is learn to read and separate yourself from evil thinking people. You must separate yourself from all the predators living around you. One thing which may be painful is that you must realize there can be evilness in your family. Once you identify evil acting people in your family, you must leave them alone. You must not eat with, sleep with, talk with, or walk with anyone who is essentially different than you. If you do, you may lose your life, or either their evilness may cause the death of your children. God is not going to defend your mind for you. It is your responsibility. With the word of God in your mouth and in your heart, you can defeat the enemy's suggestions every time. You know that you're talking to the enemy anytime you become angry at a conversation, irritated, or depressed. Here is a word from Ephesians 4:21 to 24. It says, "Since you have heard about Jesus and you have learned the truth that comes from him, throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. This is your new identity in Jesus Christ. Put forth your best effort to keep yourself in the right frame of mind. Stay in the Word and keep out of the wrong influences as an act of your will. When you become a good custodian over your thought life, you will be victorious over the negative thinking and the pain associated with that thought life." Ephesians 4:21 says God's word can defeat the enemy's suggestions, and the verse says the Spirit can renew our thoughts and our attitude. Why not try God's word and see what it can do for your life? You believe in ghosts and goblins. You believe in monsters. Why can't you believe in God? You need to make up your mind whether or not you believe there is a God. If you believe God exists, then you follow him. You need to make up in your mind what type of life you want to live and who you want living that life with you or around you. If your best friends exhibit bad behavior, you will just have to leave him or her alone. Galatians 4:13 says, it tells you, "I can do all things through Christ which strengthens me." That is what you want to do. Ask God to strengthen you. These are the two passages in the Bible that you must take with you when you go into battle. A battle as defined as any opposition. I'm not talking about just a battle with guns. I'm talking about a battle of the mind. When you have to go to work and you're tired because you've been working 2 jobs. That is right. You will always be in a battle when you try to change your life and stop associating with bad people. You will need help when you try to extricate yourself from the affairs of others, including your family members. Put these passages to memory. They will serve you well during hard times when you despair, when you are afraid, you think God has not heard you. The world says when you are experiencing hard times, you're supposed to suffer. You are supposed to do what you have to do. In other words, prostitute your body, steal or kill for food, accept low wages, and accept abuse from your employer. Go home, eat a plate of denial, and drink a glass of hatred. You are to bemoan your life and accept your fate. Read these passages several times, especially while you are at work during your break or lunch hour. These passages will help you through the day. Your enemy does not want you to believe in Psalms 23 or Psalms 91. He wants you to believe your situation is desperate. Just remember the situation with the leopards. God has always turned the situation around. The Syrians had deserted their camp, but no one in Samaria knew it until the leopards stumbled upon the Syrian camp. Then they went and told everyone the news. Remember Isaiah 65:24? People were praying inside the wall for God to deliver them, and they had received their deliverance and they didn't know it. It took the leopards going to the enemy's camp for the Israelites to realize they had been saved. Sometimes you have to be still, quiet your spirit so you can receive directions. We live in a physical world, but our destiny is determined in the spiritual world. God has given us his word to tell us how to conduct our lives. God says we are to take his word to create a life Repeat His word to enhance our creative power. God says choose life. To do this, you must believe and you must stand up. Do not let negative people and toxic relationships keep you from realizing your dreams. You can be a better person. You must stop doing what you're doing and decide on a better life. The drinking, the smoking, the snorting coke, the lusting after someone else's boyfriend or husband, and sexing every day changes what you can realize out of life. Disrespect yourself, have sex with every man you meet, and bring people in, men especially, into your home and allow them to mistreat your children. You have given up. You do not know how to manage your life. How long are you going to go before you change? Your children will not survive if you do not change. Take a good look at your children. They will not have a future if you do not change. Are you not tired of being or seeing black boys and black men being carted off to prison for lack of knowledge and opportunity? Are you not tired of seeing black women standing on the corner prostituting? Are you not tired of envying other people, saying to yourself, I wish that were me? Stop fantasizing, stop being ashamed because you are poor and uneducated and afraid. Stand up and change your life. Change is hard, but why die expressing regret? If your vagina isn't working for you and you have a house filled with children and no husband, then you need to change. You need to start reading to learn how to win at life. You will learn a woman should never be without money. If you have to choose between eating and spending your last dollar, you need to drink water. Never spend your last dollar. Drink water. Learn that you can gain freedom through reading and writing. Power can be black or green. Take care of yourself first. Otherwise, you will not be able to take care of anyone else. You need to visit the website touchedbythelight.us to read inspirational articles and to watch inspirational videos. These articles and videos can lead you out of the darkness. You must read. You can no longer keep conducting your life based on information that you learned 10, 15, or 20 years ago. Stop relying on what your friends have to say and their opinions. Read and get the facts and take control of your life. If you cannot read or you have a problem reading, find someone at the library that can help you. Stop wasting your life away by drinking alcohol and smoking marijuana just because you feel bad. You can visit touchedbythelight.us and learn what our books have to offer to you.
Behavioral psychologists say that motivation is the driving force behind all human actions. Still, the fact is that no matter how motivated you are, if you don't have the courage to act, nothing changes. Unfortunately, the society has construed courage to be a masculine quality, and we've been conditioned to believe a lie, that we women are the weaker sex. Men are supposed to be the brave ones, the go-getters, while a lady is supposed to wait around for her knight in shining armor. It is these limiting beliefs that have kept most of us in the background, holding us from taking charge of our lives and being the best we can be. It is why we have allowed men to dominate while we struggle for gender equality. What if I told you that you could live a life of freedom, of fulfillment and everlasting happiness? What if I told you that you have innate capabilities and talents beyond what you are currently aware of? Only if you have the courage to go after your dreams. Remember, the distance between your dreams and where you are right now is action, and it takes courage to take action. I want to introduce you to a book that has transformed the lives of thousands of women across the globe. Women of Courage by Gloria G. Lee. A book that will help you banish all limiting beliefs and destroy your self-doubt by bringing you face to face with the lives of over 100 women who have triumphed over insurmountable odds and wrote their name in the history books. It is unlike any other women's books out there. The Women of Courage workbook takes you on a step-by-step guide to how you can take charge of your life, discover your purpose, and give you the zeal and enthusiasm you need to go after your dreams. It will give you an unshakable faith in yourself, help you create a world of freedom, and live the life of fulfillment you've always dreamed of. Your dream life could be just pages away. Remember, you are the captain of your life. Take charge of your life's mission today and join the community of women breaking boundaries and living their dreams. Get a copy of Women of Courage at... I promise you, your life will never remain the same.
You can visit touchedbythelight.us and learn what our books have to offer to you. Thank you for listening to Women of Courage, and have a great day.